tukiwa church ka tumenyamaza, katoi ni kadogo. Sawa. Alafu basi ana preach zile za Holy Ghost fire, unajua. So ni moto inawaka pale. So wase wamenyamaza, wengine wanaandika notes. Katoi ni kadogo tu nikasikia kametukana so so watu wakashindwa, ai mzazi yako hapo anajaribu kukafunga mdomo akafungiki kanaendelea kutukanana.
Yeah, so guys, hi and welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for joining us. I have a cold, forgive my horsey voice. And welcome back. And if you're watching this, you've not subscribed, tafadhali subscribe. So this particular segment, we are always privileged to have our therapy. Guys, we have introduced to you our therapist.
Yeah.
And we are happy to share her with you guys. Yeah. And here we just decided we're going to be talking and discussing with you guys, you know. Ndio mjuange vitu zingine, behavior zingine mnatoanga wapi, ama behavior zingine watoto wengine wanapatanga wapi, ama behavior zingine watoto wenyu hata wanapatanga wapi. So guys, today your story yenye Keimo anatupatia. Personally, I think it has come from that child grow in a toxic parenting environment. Yes, so guys, we are talking about, you know, a relationship between parents and kids when you want to bring you up, and that's why we have our therapist here today. Hi
everyone. Hi Richie, hi Keimo. How are you?
We're good.
Yeah, parenting it is for today.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's interesting how kids are just brought up, and they kind of shape up to the kind of environment they came from. So that's the reason, guys, we're telling you it's what we're here to discuss and how maybe we can, you know, try to improve on that sector. In the sector? Yeah, try to improve on that area so that we become better parents. India?
Yeah. So, Teresa, I know of someone, I know of a child, kana tukanananga mpaka manki.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like literally, nilikwambia ile siku nitasikia nitakucharaza, mimi usinijaribu. So what do you think that what environment do you think that child is coming in from? Like mtoto anatoka environment inakaaje?
We always say you do not give what you do not have.
Yeah.
So for them to have a word like monkey and all those abusive words, it's what they get to hear. And not just once. It's consistently what they are fed with. Yeah, just like we always talk about, hurt people. Hence abusive parents resorts to abusive kids. Yeah, so there is different forms of parenting. And how we are parenting our kids today, you know, it's what will manifest in them come adulthood. And today we have many people coming for therapy because what they want to deal with, not for themselves, but they want to deal with how they were brought up by their parents. Yes.
So how a kid is brought up can really affect their adulthood, let's say.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And do you notice as an adult, do you notice that I was brought up heavy, so that's why I'm behaving this way? Can you tell?
Let me say unconsciously, no. This comes when someone else brings it to your awareness, or if you're attentive enough to get to know why you are behaving like this. Because in most cases, people come for therapy and they will come with different reasons. You know, I'm having a very abusive partner, or I'm this nagging, or I'm like this, and my partner says this is how I behave.
Yeah.
You know, we've had scenarios where kids have asked their parents, is it this hard to be a mother?
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Really?
Oh yes. So by the time this person is coming now for therapy, they're coming because they feel they're bad parents. But we start with clinical intake. That means before we come, Richie, and you know, because we've gone through this, before now we start addressing what has brought you today. What we call as presenting issues. We also want to get to know more about you, your upbringing, because in most cases, the difficulties that we have as adults, it's manifestation of how we were brought up.
Yes.
You know, different parenting style, you are able to tell. Different parenting styles results to different adulthood.
Yes.
And again, that one goes next to our kids. And that's why therapy is very, very important. Why? You can imagine someone who was brought up by a toxic parent. Here they are being toxic to their kids. You can, I mean, we all know, or we can guess to how these kids will resort to being.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming for these parents to be toxic, they were also brought up in a toxic environment by probably toxic parents.
Yeah.
Right?
Most likely. Let me put it this way, and I say most likely because we have other factors that can contribute to one being toxic. We can start looking at it from a scenario of a kid brought by a toxic parent and what that means to them as kids into adulthood. You know, and what is this toxic parent, or what is this that we are talking about being toxic? We are talking about absent parents, you know, and you can be absent for all good reasons, but what makes of your kids? You know, you can be your one parent who is very busy at work. You absolutely have no time for your kids. And for us, we know, because we are busy looking for butter and bread, it's a positive thing. Do we take a back and think about the kids that we are bringing up? Because they'll still be the same people who will go for therapy tomorrow. We've had scenarios where, you know, kids come and they tell us, I'm a daughter to this professor, but as much as they can remember, my parents, you know, they went abroad for further studies. They came back when I was in my teen, when I was this grown enough. So we can never relate. So do we have that good strike of work-life balance? Or are we just busy? We are never present. So that forms part of being toxic as a parent.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So, so I think the question I would like maybe probably ask, how do you strike that balance?
When you find yourself struggling with striking a balance, we call that dysfunctional. That's a call or an alarm for you to go for therapy, to get to know, are you having some triggers? Are you actually running away from, you know, your family for some unconscious reasons into work? Are you using work as something to mask because you do not want to be with the family? You find for some people, maybe you have a partner that you feel they're unbearable. So you end up working late, taking up more tasks, you know, just to keep yourself off your family life. Is it healthy for your kids? You see how our relationship as partners in the, you know, in a family setup affects our kids. Yeah, so it's all about, I believe, because we have labor laws and all that, there is provision of work-life balance. There is no work that you'd say has no balance, because even for people who work, you know, offshore, we also have them coming over for vacation and they spend so much time with their kids. Others will come during holidays, they will take their kids with them. So it all starts, are you there as a parent for your kids? So that forms you being a toxic parent for a start.
Because you're not there even in the first place.
You are not there.
Okay.
You are absent.
So what you're saying is, I am a toxic parent if the only time I will take my kids out is when we're going for a vacation.
If you're never there for them, yes. Because in the first place, this vacation, is it really meant to be vacation?
Or it's just masking something that's...
Or are you trying to make up?
Compensate.
Compensation, yes.
Yes. Are you taking them out for vacation because you feel you've not been there with them, so you want to mask up through compensating by taking them for vacation? I can tell you for sure, there is no way you can be absent from your kids' life and you want to tell us that 1 week vacation will make the gap. It doesn't work like that. In fact, the more far away you'll be pushing them from you, because it will be the only you time, and you time is you as a parent and your kids, it's during vacation. So they'll never relate into having mommy and daddy with them there. Having mommy and daddy, you know, pillow games, mommy and daddy discussions. Just, you know, keep quiet. You know, them calling you mommy, daddy. You know, there is that relationship that at time we take for granted because you're never there. Maybe you get home so late when they're already asleep.
Yes.
You wake up so early, you leave them asleep. Or we've left this to our house helps. They're the ones preparing them, dropping them to school, which is not a bad thing, but ensure you balance. When it comes to school, is it a scenario where these kids relate to their helps more than their parents?
I've seen that like firsthand, whereby you can see the child is more relating to the house help more than the parents.
Yes.
So even when the parents are going, when you know they come back, they cannot even like kind of relate because the child is so much used to the house help, such that they feel the house help is the one that's like taking care of me. This house help is the one who changes me. This house help is the one who feeds me.
Takes me
so
to
they kind of don't understand. Oh, unaingilia wapi wewe?
Who are you?
That, yes.
Yeah.
Who are you? Yeah, and you find in a scenario where, let's say, like you've talked about changing them.
Yes.
You are there seated, and a kid feel, you know, have poo-poo. They're not calling out on mommy or daddy. They'll leave both of you there. They go and call the nanny. What does that tell you? They associate
More.
the caregiving because I'm calling for help. You know, that's a way of calling for help. When they're hungry, they're not telling you they're hungry. They'll just leave, they go to the kitchen. What does that tell you? So we should be able even to read the invisibles from our kids, right from when they're small.
Yes.
If you're there seated with them and they want some water, they leave you there. They just go to the kitchen and you see them coming with water. It means they do not associate you with the caregiver. You, to their life, you are more of a sponsor, someone that they are still trying to, you know, they so want to be clingy to you because they feel they have very limited time with you.
And you as a parent, you miss out a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot, because the first person, the same way you see when they want something, they are calling on the nanny. It means even when they have issues, before they come to you, they'll go to the nanny.
Yes.
Why? They've formed that bond and that good relationship with them. They feel this is the person who takes care of me. You know, for them, regardless whether the nanny is family or not, they do not know about those relationships. So they know this is the only person who cooks for me, feeds me, dresses me, the person who is with me all through. So they'll even feel more secure with them and sharing with them than you as a parent, because you become a stranger in their lives. You have very limited time with them. And that now forms another reason why parents end up being toxic when you're not meeting the kids' needs. And in most cases, people associate this with financial needs. You know, you end up saying, I went to school barefoot. I'll ensure you have like 20 pairs of shoes.
So you end up working hard to get the 20 pairs of shoes and forgetting to be present for the child. Because you're busy looking for the 20 pairs.
The most important thing is the emotional need.
Emotional need.
They do not require your finances.
They require the emotional.
If that was the case, let's think of it this way. We have kids brought up in ghetto, you know, and they've ended up being great kids in their own way. They relate with their parents so well. Does that mean they had everything they needed? For kids, it's us grown-up who are so into money and to financial, you know, attachments and all that. For them, you tell them today we are going to have ugali skuma mante to mante. It's just okay as long as you are there as my parent. It's okay, mommy. They'll even be telling you, it's okay, mommy. When you get money, you're going to buy nyama for us.
So that means they're not even so much worried about, do you have money or don't?
No, they are absolutely not. They are not. What they want, it's the emotional needs. That's something that we all forget. Kids, and especially kids below 18 years, they are, when you talk about the basic needs and all that, you know, they are taught in school. What are they told? Food,
shelter and clothing. And they have it.
They have it.
Yeah.
I mean, they are eating. It doesn't mean, it doesn't matter that they are not taking pizza. They are eating.
They're eating.
That's enough. Shelter. They don't have to put on expensive clothes.
Wako kwa
You know,
mabati.
they have under roof, you know. That's more important for them. The basic needs.
The basic needs.
Their needs, they're the emotional needs. Are we there to meet our kids' emotional needs?
Yeah.
Or as we say, I'm busy working to ensure you have a good life. Trust you me, the good life is your good life.
Yeah, I think I can relate with this with our son, the way you're saying it's all about emotional needs and you being there. Like our son akitoka shule, we have a house phone, eh? He calls, anauliza, mami, akopi, muko wapi? Like, yeye ana feelingi, it's his right to see you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's his right, like, kwa mimi mko wapi? Tuko job. Kwa nini mumekaa too long? Si nimetoka school. Mnakuja kuniona? Tunakuja. What time? Like the guy, he just wants you there.
Yes.
You know, hata tukifika home, as long as you're there. So hata ukimuuliza ulikuwa nataka aje? Si mkuje home alafu anachukua remote.
Zinasha will even ask me like, daddy, si tukae hapa to watch cartoon na wewe. So, mimi na cartoon na yeye na watch tu cartoon na yeye. Akiona naangalia simu, ananiambia daddy to watch cartoon. So yeye anataka tu to feel.
Yeah.
Alafu ananiambia daddy tunaweza cheza game na wewe. So he doesn't want to take the phone to play the game. He wants me to play with him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not about him only.
Yeah,
It's about
Us,
you.
because like for me Zenasha, when I'm cooking, he always comes in the kitchen ananiambia, "Mom, either anisaidie ama akae na mimi."
Yeah.
One of the two. Na tukikaa na yeye, he's asking me questions because the guy I think anakuaga too sharp, eh? He's asking me questions zenye hata yeye anajua. Unaona? "Mom, sasa unakoroga na nini?" So hiyo ni kitunguu umeweka. So unaona anataka tu that attachment. So yeah, so I'm trying to imagine if I was a toxic parent, ningemwambia toka hapa kwa kitchen unachomeka. Enda. So ile kumdismiss, because sometimes I even allow him to help me koroga. I've taught him how to cook eggs. By the way, he can cook eggs for you. Yeah, I've taught him how to do that. So I'm trying to think parents out there, they need to read their kids' signs. You know, when the kid wants you to be around, na wasi detach na wewe. So I'm trying to think, Teresa, when a kid detaches with you, that's it.
Second chances are really hard to come by.
Completely. Completely.
They won't. They'll just be like hata kuwa kake. Unajua Kimo Zenasha anambianga akibai toy wanataka pia sasa dadi yake akurume wacheze na yeye. But mtoi mwenye anajua tu it's just provided daddy just buy me a toy, unampea toy and that's it. Yeah. So parents, able talk to them.
Yeah, you need to be very, very careful, because how we relate with our kids today will highly determine what will manifest into their lives the moment they are adults. And with that, someone might ask, what exactly is this that it will become of them? You know, so we've started by defining the toxic parenting.
Yes.
And we've said being toxic doesn't really mean that you are the abusive one, though it also forms part of that. Being abusive, being absent, you know, you are never there for your kids. That is emotionally, because you can be there physically, but are you there? Do you get time to be with them?
Oh, Teresa, there are parents who say watafute sai watoto wako wachanga before wajielewe ndio wakigrow wataspend time now. What can you tell such parents?
Do not struggle so hard for future, forgetting that you have today to live. The moment you are busy kutafuta sahi, waiting, you know, for the time watoto wako wachanga, as they grow up, you get to enjoy. Trust you me, you're going to lose them. And the moment you lose them, you will spend the rest of your life trying to win them back. And it will already be too late. We have scenarios where parents come for therapy and they're presenting issues is, my son immediately, or my kids immediately I get into the room, they all disappear into their bedrooms and all that. Why? Because they find comfort there than being with you. So you are actually someone who comes to bring in disruption.
Yeah. Even if you're not talking.
Even if you're not talking, even if you're just there, they just can't bear an environment where you are present. You know, scenario where you're telling them, you're even asking them, tell us of your holiday of choice, and everyone is like, we're okay, not unless I'm going with my brothers, not unless it's just our holiday, we're just okay.
We're good.
They'd rather not go for that holiday than have you there.
Yes.
So
oh my God.
We get, you know, we get what we planned.
Yes.
If that's what we planned, and you know, in most cases we think, I mean, before they are in their teens, I'll have gotten more time to make up with them.
But no.
It's never the case.
No.
The moment you lose them completely. Why? Some part of them is lost. They won't grow knowing that compassionate of having a caregiver who is their parent. They'll know caregiver, you know, caregiving comes from other people. So what that will mean is that the same people, when they grow up, they're the ones who are either unable to keep a relationship, because they never grew up in any, you get, they'll so detach. You know, a scenario, I'm in this relationship and I feel it's absolutely not working for me. I can call it off tomorrow because I do not want to invest deep my feelings.
Yes.
First, they were never shown what that means. No one invested their feelings and their emotions on them. So why would they? And they were never taught about that. They also become the abusive partners. Because to them, it's more of, when we talk about attachment, we talk about dismissive attachment and disorganized. They're just there. They're the people who will keep on victimizing you. They do not see their own problem. They will see you. Why? Because that's how they were brought up. No one minded about what they were going through. You know, they're still the same people who won't show you any affection. You know, yes, you are in a relationship with someone, but you do not feel like you're in a relationship with someone. That's one thing. Again, on the flip, they can also be the nagging type. You know, you've ever heard of a scenario where someone says, don't you have a life? You had a life even before meeting me. Why don't you keep yourself busy with the boys or the girls? Because they're the nagging partners. I always give this scenario where two kids were brought by a drunkard dad. One ended up being a drunkard, the other one a sober person. When both of them were asked, how comes you're sober? How comes you're a drunkard and your dad was a drunkard? They all had the same answer to give. I grew up watching my dad. So the dismissive one, they will follow the steps they were shown. And remember, this happens unconsciously. No one gets to know. This other one, who is more nagging, they can cause chaos, because when there is chaos, that's the only time. They learned the only time their parents were there for them is when they were causing chaos. Like when they were sent from school because of misbehaving, now the parents were there. I don't know if you're getting.
Makes sense.
And that also contributes to some kids, you know, and especially when we are seeing kids in school, they'll always be chaotic. And we've had scenarios where these kids, they come and you ask, how comes you ran from school? And they'll tell you, because running away from school, it's the only way I could get my parents' attention. You know?
So they will always be wanna cause
something,
chaos.
So that also should go out to the parents. You know, if you have this kid and you feel they've become so stubborn, at school, they're the most notorious kids. You know, within the estate, they're causing chaos, they're being physical, you know, abusive. They're just being violent in whatever way. Before you start blaming other people, because we are very fast at blaming teachers, at blaming it's because they are friends with so and so son. Before you start, ask yourself, have you given them enough? Because to them, they know the only way to get your attention is by being chaotic. You do not relate. You know, for them, remember when we talk about affection, they do not care whether it's coming in a negative way or in the
They
most
just want
positive way.
attention.
The attention, by the time you are there and you are very mad at them and giving them warnings and caning them and all that,
You're giving
yes,
them
you are
attention.
caning them. There is the pain and they cry, but end of it all, they'll sleep. Very satisfied kids. I mean, I got their attention. You spent your 30 minutes
Beating me.
beating me. You at least invested
Oh my
some of your
God.
time
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah.
So the same people will grow up to be abusive. That's what we are talking about when we talk about dismissive partners. They come with being into drugs and substance use, being violent, and it's in both ways, you know, physical and emotional abuser. That's how, I mean, it all comes from how they were brought up. Or we can now turn to the other person who is a sober person. Why? Because I grew up watching my dad who was a drunkard.
Yeah.
Hence, now opposite of all this, it's what they become. No one was there to give me the attention.
Yes.
Here I am with my loving wife, loving husband. I will follow them wherever they are. You know of people we label as insecure? I was in a relationship with so and so, but they are so insecure that I couldn't bear that relationship. The
So now you keep
insecurity,
following them around because your dad was a drunk.
no,
Yeah.
you keep following them because no one, your parents never followed up on you. They were never there for you.
Yeah.
So it's like now you are having a chance.
Yeah. You've
To-
gotten an opportunity.
You've gotten an opportunity of having someone who is investing their emotions on you. So they end up, number one, neglecting their other duties.
Yes.
You'll even be told, you know what? I had this number of friends, but since I met Kemu or Rechi, have dropped them for you.
Yeah.
And it's very true, they do that. They drop everything else for this one partner.
Wow.
Why? Because they've seen someone who is giving them the attention, who is investing their emotions
That they
on them,
lacked.
who is meeting their emotional need that they lacked.
Okay.
Hence, again, they will give in and compensate. It will be overly compensating. Everything will be in extreme. So this extreme is what we term as their nagging. Even you as a partner, you do not want a partner who keeps on checking on you.
Yeah,
Following you.
Hi,
always.
each and every
Hey,
hour, you know,
where
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Where are you? And they mean well. They're not following up on you because they feel maybe you are cheating or something.
Yeah.
They just mean well.
They just
But,
want to hear
mean,
from you.
It won't last for so long.
Yeah.
They'll become nagging.
Yes.
They're very insecure because now you also feel this is not normal. Can I come and meet you at your workplace?
Yes.
Everyone at your workplace knows your partner. Everyone you go to church with. Everyone, you know, anywhere.
Yeah.
Why? Because this person want to be in you completely,
Yeah.
in extreme. So at time we are quick in judging and telling them you need to go and deal with your insecurities. But this is someone who is actually dealing with their childhood traumas. They are trying to snatch that small thing that they're getting from you that they missed from their parents.
And it's kind of making a lot of sense because it seems like you can actually deal with this the rest of your life. I was hearing of a story of a woman who used to take food to another man's wife. So alikuwa anapeleka lunch. So she used to she just wanted to bring lunch.
Yeah.
Just lunch only.
Ana shida.
Anataka tu kuleta lunch.
Yeah.
But now she brings lunch so much mpaka sasa inafika point anataka kwenda kwake kumpelekea sapa na ako na bibi yake. Sasa mpaka bibi anashangaa, okay, what's going on here?
And to her, it's not a big deal.
It wasn't a big deal.
You know,
Yeah.
And she didn't mean to like break their marriage or anything. She was just that she felt what you're talking about. Mekubali lunch yangu sasa
wacha sasa nimdungilie.
And now talking of ameitikia my lunch, you know what happens? Because we were never brought up having that emotional attachment to our parents, with our parents freely. We feel we need to pay to keep it.
Yes.
And paying means in whichever form. If I must keep on bringing you lunch, hata nikulete kwa nyumba yako to keep up this relationship, then I would rather go out of my way.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever.
Whatever it takes to keep up this relationship.
Making sense.
You see? So if you find you are in this even can just be normal friendship.
Yeah.
You know, you are girlfriend to girlfriend friendship,
Yeah.
but you are the only person who keeps on buying lunch,
Yes.
doing everything. Oh, can we meet today? Okay, fine. You are the one who is even catering for their transport,
calling,
fuel,
all that.
cab for them to come and meet you, so that you cater for their, you know, drinks or whatever it is, and you take them home. It's actually not pure. You are paying to keep it. And do you know why we pay to keep it, or why we say it's expensive to keep? And you know, the bad thing is you're not paying just with money. It's emotional.
It's emotional pain.
And then they zoea you.
You know, you do not know that wanakuzoea. You feel this person, I must pay emotionally to keep them. Why? Because what was supposed to be given to you freely, it was never there. Hence, this small chance that you've gotten for someone who is showing you, you know, that affection, and someone who is with you, who is investing their emotional on you, you can't believe how it's coming so freely from a stranger. How?
Exactly.
Yeah. I really need to appreciate them. You know, we just meet up for a cup of coffee, and you go back, you keep on, Aki, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I so appreciate. I know, you know, you even go
You even give them a
extreme.
token.
You even give them a token for meeting you up. You are dealing with childhood traumas, and that is lack of attachment, or you are being brought up by a toxic parent.
Ah, all right.
Yeah, and you know also separation causes that.
Yes.
Because one parent can have unresolved issues. Maybe yes, they were brought up by their parents in the most ideal situation, the most correct way, but other factors, things happened along the way.
Yeah.
Could be maybe loss,
Yeah.
loss of a loved one that they were unable to overcome. Could be maybe they're into drugs and substance use. Could be it's something to do with separation. You know, separation and divorce. Could be it's because of financial impact. This person was working, they've lost their job, the business is not performing so well. So being toxic as a parent can be as a result of so many things. So let's not just label all the toxic parents like they're also coming from toxic families, not unless we give them chance to get to listen to their side of the story. Because in most cases, we have other factors. Now I know, because we are talking about how being toxic looks like. Maybe someone out there might also wonder the opposite.
Yes, I was about to ask you that. Now it's not a toxic parent anymore. It's now the other side of parenting, where they're giving you everything and they're bowing to their kids' requests all the time.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about that?
Now what you're saying, it's it has some sense of toxic.
Yes.
Because when your kid comes and they tell you, you know, teacher so and so said that I don't look good, and the next thing you are thinking of going to that school tomorrow and have them write a statement. You know,
That's me, teacher. That's
see,
me.
that's how you are.
Sometimes when Zerasha comes home and he's like, teacher alisema, I'm waiting for kesho niko huko.
Up there.
Yeah.
We need to strike a balance to ensure we are equally not dealing with a deficiency somewhere, something that we never got.
Yes.
That is making us overcompensate.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
if you are a parent and you never used to go out there, mingle with other kids and all that, now you want to ensure each and every birthday party within the estate, your kids attend.
Yeah.
Even when they don't feel like.
Yeah.
Even when they're telling you, but mommy, I'm so tired.
I don't want to go.
You
You
just
want
want
make sure
to.
they go because you never went.
Because you never went.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the same thing I was talking about. You went to school barefoot, now you want to ensure they have 20 pairs of shoes.
Yes.
You are there with them, yes. But you are also
You're spoiling them.
overcompensating.
Yeah.
So get to draw the line.
Spoiling. How do you get to draw the line, though?
There is what ideally is the right thing, and there is when you go in excess.
Yeah.
The good thing is when you are in excess, they'll even communicate to you. But we as parents, we normally take our time to be active listeners. When they tell you, Mommy, I do not want this. That is enough for you to take her back and think, am I giving them too much of this?
Do you know what you're talking about is actually something very practical that happened to us in a supermarket. Once we went to a supermarket and then we just told Zenasha to just pick as many candies.
Yes.
Pick whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then he picked and then he was like, that's enough.
Yes.
So you were like, okay, so if you've said it's enough,
Yeah.
then I am believing in you. It's enough.
It's enough.
We're not gonna give you
Yeah.
anymore.
And actually, the only thing he picked, baby, if you remember, it was gummy bears.
It was gummy bears.
So ushaipatiwa choice. We rarely do that. We do that when we're in the good moods. Tunasimama kwa aisle, tunamwambia pick
Spoil
what you
yourself.
want. Pick snacks, pick what you want. The guy will just go and pick gummy bear, and you're like, Baba, we've told you to pick what you want.
Yeah.
Or I pick crips, anaenda anachukua crip moja. Daddy, that's it. Yeah, I think this is enough.
Yeah. So
I'm
what
like,
you're saying, right now it's when it's actually like
Yeah.
bringing it to light. They will communicate to you.
yes.
They
So I'm now
communicate
actually
you.
realizing that he was actually communicating to us
Yeah.
that it's enough.
It's enough. Like,
Yeah.
that's enough. This is all I want.
Yeah.
It's enough.
It's enough. And another way, with those 20 pairs of shoes, you'll find they only put on like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So it means they don't need
They
them.
absolutely don't. They are communicating to you,
This is enough.
this is enough.
Yeah, and again, tell us, sometimes we as parents, where we usually go wrong is, I think before we started, you were giving an example where unaambia mtoto, you're going to school with black sports shoes, na yeye anasema, no, I want brown, na wewe unamwambia sawa, if you want brown, take brown.
Yeah.
How should we deal with that as a parent?
You are missing out on something. You are failing to teach your kids how to take orders and policies. And you are going to bring up kids who will be spoiled, who will always be on the wrong side of even authority when they grow up. Why? Because as a parent, they go to school with white sports shoes. They come and they tell you, I like it when I'm in yellow sports shoes. So you are busy tomorrow going to try and amend that and talk about a sports shoe as a sports shoe just to accommodate your kids. But is it the situation out here? No. You need to sit them down, you let them know it's okay. You got to school with a white one, but here you are telling me of a pink one. It's okay, we can buy that for weekends.
Yes.
Because the school rule says,
Yeah.
you get? You should not put on your half sweater on Fridays.
Yes.
Instead, you're supposed to be jumpsuit.
Jumpsuits, yeah.
You know? So they'll grow knowing how to take orders. And you know, not just how to take orders, it will also make them be orderly.
Yes.
That's how assertiveness is instilled in kids. Why? Because they'll grow knowing when to say no, even if really you want to say yes. Why? Because you can't be always, you can be tailor making your own things. It's time for being like this, for going straight, or for going this other way. So it's very, very important how you bring them up knowing we have rules. And not only in school, even in your house, come up with some rules, share with them, discuss with them. Do not just come and impose on them, discuss with them. You know, during meal time, maybe no more watching cartoons, no playing with phone, or, you know, just come up with rules that they are going to observe. And with that, you're actually teaching them how to take orders and to know there is time for everything. Yeah, otherwise nowadays we even have kids who want to go and take shower while still they are playing, you know, with their toys or with the phone, watching cartoons and all that. So you need to draw the line. And by doing that, you are also teaching them. Also on the same something else is where we promise. You know, if you perform good, I'll buy you this. I always say it's good when you promise, ensure you deliver.
Oh, yeah.
When you promise,
I was about to think, hiya, when we do it wrong.
no. When you promise, ensure you deliver. However, also as parents, we've taken advantage of this. We know you want to buy a bicycle for your kid. They've come, they've asked for a bicycle. And you're telling them, when you perform so well, I'll give you that bicycle. you might think you're doing the right thing, but you are instilling negative ideologies in them.
Tell us more. How?
I know. So the promise should be a discussed thing. You see, they've not come to tell you, when I perform well, I want a bicycle. That's very different. They've come and requested, Daddy, I would like when you get money, you buy me a ball. Now you've taken that request and you've attached something to the request. When you perform well, I'll buy you the ball. We need to separate this. When you're talking about performance with our kids, let it be about performance. I want you to score this and that in this subject, or you become this position. Then when you become this position, what would you like? I buy you.
Okay.
You see, it's a very healthy discussion. Otherwise, when we attach their needs, remember, them coming to us for that ball, that's their current need. When we put an attachment to their need, what are we doing? This girl will grow up knowing, if you're taking me out for date, I must have sex with you. I'm seeing now how that relates. Because they were shown, I'm in a relationship, there must be something I'm paying for. You must pay for something.
I must pay for it.
For me to get what I want, I must pay for it. I must pay to get this.
So we shouldn't put them in a position of thinking it's always about paying first.
No. Because now the talks will change. It will always be, Mommy, I want you buy me a ball. What do I need to do for me? You know, Mommy, what can I do for you to buy me a ball? Because you already pegged it on something.
Always, you always do
So
that.
they'll never come and request freely. You are putting a barrier. You get? So I always encourage, when you are discussing about performance, make it about performance. Let it come from them. So you've shared your expectation as a parent. This
Now
is how I'd like you behave. And you know, not just performance of scoring, it's even behavior in school. This is how I'd like you behave. And if you go through the entire semester without, you know, the parents complaining and all that, what would you want to get from Mommy? Now start a discussion from there. Now that's a promise. But when they come and they want toys, they want you buy them pizza, you're already attaching that to something. Then tomorrow you need to do your own cleanup. They'll always grow knowing in each and everything, I must pay for it. You know? So these are still the same people who will go into work environment for an interview. They score highly, they're invited for a job, and the next thing they're asking, what do I need to do for this job? You know, because they feel, for me even to get this job, I need to have paid someone, I need to have used some negative, you know, ways for me to get it, because you brought them up knowing for anything good to happen to you, you need to have paid for it. So even when you keep on talking about they were harassed, this is corruption, they absolutely do not know what you're talking about. This is how unconsciously they were brought up knowing.
Wow. So guys, I don't know what you think about this whole topic, but as for me, I think I've learned a lot of things, because I was used to, rather, sometimes I always tell Zenasha, ukimaliza kukula nitakubaia gummy bear. Now I know it affects him somehow.
It's not always.
It's not about.
By the way, talking of which, you know, sasa hata alishafika place, yeye mwenyewe anaulizaga. Ananiuliza mimi ama yeye, Mami, nikimaliza utanibaia gummy bear. So he already knows that there's a price to. I have to finish this so that I get the gummy bear. So hata ishaanza kuingia.
Always ask yourself, what if hautanunua, what will happen? Atakula hiyo chakula. They'll also not do it. So we are teaching them to do the right thing, but in the negative way.
So I think we are not perfect parents out here. Teresa, we are not perfect.
Definitely
we are not perfect, and there's room for improvement for each and every parent. Just ask yourself, what kind of parent are you? Are you a toxic parent? Are you, the other parenting is overcompensating parent. Overcompensating is when now unataka sasa kuenda unataka sasa kufanya kila kitu, unataka sasa kuwapatia kila kitu yenye wanataka. There's also another one,
the ideal parenting.
The ideal is the normal parenting.
The normal parenting. You are there. If it's about them eating, you make them eating. You know, you explain to them the benefits of taking food.
Yes.
This food has carbs, has vitamins, and when you eat, you gain more energy. So they are eating for the purpose.
Yes.
When you perform well in school, you'll become number one, and hence you always tell me you want to be a pilot, you are going to become a pilot. So they are reading on purpose.
Yes.
You know, everything is on purpose. But you're not there telling them, when for you to eat, for you to get the gummy bear, you need to finish food.
Nice.
Yeah.
So parents out there, I don't know what you've gotten out from this discussion, but if you're out there and you feel like the relationship between you and your parents, no, between you and your kids, or rather between you, actually you as a parent and your parents, it affected your bringing and your kids. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Right? If you feel it has affected your what? Your upbringing.
And how you're relating to your kids.
Yeah, and how you're relating to your kids. It's time for you to actually talk to someone.
Yeah.
It's time for you to talk to someone, because you don't want your kids to grow up the way you grew up.
Yeah.
It's time for you to change even the whole narrative. Hata hiyo ya kusema mimi nililelewa hivyo. Because many parents say that si pia sisi tulilelewa hivyo. Unaona? That is wrong. That is wrong. So Kimo, what do you have to tell this parent?
So what I'm actually thinking, Triza, I just feel like we've just started a discussion.
Yeah.
We've opened a book. These are a discussion that we've just begun. Because there's so much. I just feel we cannot be able to even cover in this one video.
Sure.
So probably we can even make a continuous kind of series. Like, how do we address, when do we start good parenting? How do we even start? Because I remember even like in high school, most of my buddies, they used to tell us like, hey, daddy akiingia si tunaenda kwa bedroom. Like almost all the students. So I think this is something that we'll just keep on discussing. How do we help? Because I'm quite sure even most of the parents who brought us up the way they brought us up, they did it out of ignorance. They didn't know it better. So otherwise, there's so much that we need to cover so that we learn how to do it right.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like Rach is saying, if you really feel that you need to speak to someone kindly, make sure that you speak to I'm forgetting. All Smiles.
All Smiles.
So, and as Rach is saying right here, if you really feel like you need to speak to someone kindly, make sure that you speak to All Smiles Therapy. Their numbers are here. If you need to speak to someone kindly, reach out to All Smiles Therapy so that they help you. You become a better parent. You deal with your childhood traumas. You become a better person even in the society, all right? Yani, si wote to grow pamoja.
Yeah, to grow pamoja. Because guys, we keep telling you, you really don't have to be going through something for you to go talk to someone. All right, so you can go to therapy just because you feel I have so much that I need to release. Ni sawa, probably una feel like affect, but the truth is it is affecting you. Like what we've learned today, your upbringing can actually affect even your kids, and the way you bring up your kids can even affect their adulthood. Okay, so let's change that narrative, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And if you think these are amazing discussions, I think our last discussion that we had, so many of you had amazing feedback. Mnasema ati manze, this discussions ziendelee kukam because zina change. Even if 5-10 people are touched by what we are doing in this particular segment, we are happy. If you're happy, we are happy.
So up until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching this video.
Yes.
So up until next time, it's a
bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah, and before tuende, tell us what you want us to talk about next. Okay, tell us what you feel inakusumbua sana, ama kitu inakuanga inakusumbua, you're not sure if it bothers you or not. We are going to bring Triza on board and we are going to discuss it with you guys. Okay? Okay, bye.
kwaheri.
Bye-bye.